I don't feel the need to smile at everybody I see. I don't shit rainbows like Stuart does. So if somebody first thinks that I don't like them, it's not because I don't like them. It's because I don't know you, and I didn't just crack out a smile and shit rainbows on you. I'm not there. I don't know you. I'm not letting you into this force field I call my little world. But once you're in, man, you're in.
That's what's special about Melissa. She will shit a rainbow in her hand and throw it right at your face and say, here's your rainbow, motherfucker.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, good morning. Sorry. I got lost in the music, just lost in it.
Again.
Well, they won't know that because what I do now is I wait till you start talking and I put it where I want to. The magic of editing. So then I put the...
Cool.
Yeah. So it always sounds like we're like 10 or 15 seconds of music and then you guys come in. Even though you're sitting there jigging and dancing around for 30.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And welcome back. I feel like I haven't seen Jessica in a whole day and a half. Oh, wait.
I know. Have you missed me? Are you okay?
I'm great. I'm great. We did see each other, John. We went out and met up on Saturday night.
You guys you went back to the scene of the crime, or is what I call University of Delaware.
Yes.
We did. It was fun. And I even saw a pretty little, I didn't know that they had that UD insignia in the brick there. That was pretty cool.
Let me ask you, the first question is, are you guys allowed to eat bread yet?
Yeah,
yes, we are.
Saturday we are allowed.
Oh, Saturday you're back on the bread?
Saturday we're back on the sauce, yep.
Good, okay.
And the sauce, yes.
I actually never left it.
Oh, really? You were a bad girl?
I don't, it's hard for me to keep Passover because he's so little and he just eats all the breads and stuff.
For Isaac,
right
I get
me,
that.
So.
But you were crunching crackers last week because of...
Oh, matzah. I actually just, during Passover, I like to eat it for breakfast just for funsies.
Oh, okay.
Is that weird?
Well, to me, it looks like you're just eating this big, giant saltine cracker.
That's kind of what it tastes like. Only I have to butter it because it's not really that salty.
Well, can't you put some salt? Oh, yeah, okay. Use the salted butter. Look at you guys. How about that? All right, so was this like a concert for the D Sharps? Is that what this was all about?
So when we were in college, there was only 4 a cappella groups. It was D Sharps, which is all female, the Y Chromosomes, which was all male, the Deltones, which was mixed, and the Golden Blues, which was mixed. And every spring we would have a show where all 4 of us would
show your wares.
Yeah, we would sing together and have a concert with each other because during the year when others of us are having our concerts, we would go and support the other groups. And if we were having a guest group, sometimes we would have the Hen Harmonics or Hullabaloos from University of Virginia or something like that. And other groups would come and hang out to get to know them and meet them. So it is kind of like an extended a cappella community. And so it was nice to do a concert once a year with them. The D Sharps are the originators of it. We called it Del Capella. Now they call it Delac, like shellac. I don't know what they call it.
It was stupid. It was a dumb name, but yes, now there are 700 a cappella groups.
Yes, they have 10
perform.
a cappella groups. It's crazy. And some of the names I thought were very clever, but it was crazy how many they had. And not only that, they are way better than we were.
I don't know. At points, I thought that all the people who didn't get into the 4 that were originally there made their own group because screw you, I've got talent and I'm going to make my own group.
They had a Christian one, and that was strange.
That was
because
very strange.
I can't imagine segregating myself in an a cappella way so that I could only sing Christian songs.
Or just Jewish songs. Why would you do that?
Well, there's no such thing as Jewish songs, let's be honest.
No, there are. But,
what would we sing as a Jewish group, as a Jewish a cappella group besides Hava Nagila?
Fiddler on the Roof.
What would you sing? You would just Fiddler on the Roof. Or what?
Any
Would you just do
Neil Diamond
Matovu and Lecha Dodi? What would you do? There's so many. It would all be synagogue songs.
No, there's an entire world of Jewish music.
I know. I listened to schlock rock as a kid. I know.
Okay, so
Schlock
take that
rock.
back. There's an opportunity. I'm just saying we would never do it. Like that would never happen. We don't. And the way they were introduced was spreading the word of Jesus all over campus and all over Newark and Delaware and Wilmington. And I thought that I don't think belongs in this we're about to sing and then get drunk venue. Like that is not.
Well, maybe they don't do that anymore.
Well, that's not what I know a cappella to be about. I mean, yes, you were.
Right.
They were. Some of them were wildly talented, and some of them just were not. They were. And if you think they're all better, I don't think that's true. But what I did discover while being there with all of these college students, that I guess I had less patience for than I thought I would. And then I thought, were we that stupid? Like, were we at that age? Were we that stupid? And
yes,
the answer is
and I
yes.
have video proof
Yeah,
that we were that stupid. But also, we didn't have nearly the technology. But yeah, I mean, they assigned each group a genre. And then they had to dress like the genre and do a skit like the genre, but they didn't have to do songs in the genre. So it was like so confusing because, like, for example, the people who were doing rock, for example, was this Christian group, and they come out dressed like I don't even know what. I don't even know. They were all different kinds of rock, like grunge and punk and whatever else. Then they sang Jesus songs. It was so confusing.
She was really bothered by the fact that there was no consistency with the theme and then their
I
songs.
was.
They should have came out and sang like Highway to Hell or stuff like that.
I would also like to
Absolutely.
let you know that I was extremely irritated that every girl, every girl soloist, their biggest dream is to sound like Alessia Cara.
Who?
Do you know who? Alessia Cara, she does.
One of the songs was one of
God
her
bless
songs.
you.
But,
One of the songs
yeah.
was Alessia Cara, but hold on. What's that song that she sings? Hold on, I'll find it. Hold on one second. Every girl, it's this new, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a new style of singing because it's really not, but it's like every girl now sounds like this instead of like Pat Benatar.
Right. Instead of the belter, it's a raspy whine instead of a belting powerhouse.
Yes.
And they had one belting powerhouse.
Is it
and
like a
she
Janis
was-
Joplin?
That's too much credit, I think. I think if you added Vocal Fry and This Generation to...
Oh, what was that one who used to sing Betty Davis Eyes? What was her name? She kind of had that vocal.
Kim Carnes.
Kim Carnes.
She was great.
His ticket, so stay. All you have to do is wait a second.
See how it's like all breathy though?
Breathy and whiny at the same time. As
Here's
opposed
the other
to,
one. Here's the one that Emily used to like. I'll be over here. Whoa.
Meanwhile, if you had a voice coach, they would teach you how to breathe and sing
Not
so
to
that
do
you didn't
that.
hear when
You
you
know
were
who that
going.
sounds like? That
No,
sounds like Ariana Grande.
Yes.
That's an
That
Ariana
is
Grande
the-
voice.
That is the typical way that they sing now. But when we were there, we were doing like, I don't know. We were using our vocal cords and not trying to sound all cute and weird. You know, it was just weird.
Well, growing up, I used to watch a lot of, with my kids, you know, you had to always have to watch a lot of Disney. And there was a lot of Ariana Grande on there. And she had that really breathy, stupid voice
Yeah,
that
she
she put
does.
on, that
She
stupid
does.
character.
All the Disney did it. Demi
Right.
Lovato did it. Like it was.
Demi
But
Lovato-
she never
yeah, they all
sang.
still do it.
And then the first time I heard Ariana Grande sing, I was like, holy mackerel, where is that voice coming from? I mean, out of that little tiny girl. It's amazing. But I kind of like that. I like that sound, to be
So
quite honest
we're
with
used
you.
to the generation of finding a belter, somebody who has power and depth and can really carry all of the Pat
I mean, this
Benatar.
is
Sure.
powerful, I guess.
Without you, ooh,
That's Demi Lovato.
my friends
Right,
they
same.
know
But the other thing is, somebody did a
my
Whitney Houston song that Saturday
Oh,
night,
that was amazing.
and she did a good job. But if you're going to do Whitney, you better be amazing. Like there are
She
certain
was
artists.
amazing. You didn't think she was amazing?
I think she did a good job for a kid. I don't think. I mean, Whitney, come on.
I
like
can't do Whitney. And I'm an
Adele,
adult.
Whitney, like those are very hard to
Hold
do.
on, I gotta find that one.
They had
'cause I
no
have a
business doing
snap
any of
of
those
that.
songs. No business, I
Gone.
tell you.
It's probably gone.
Shame on
The
you.
snap's probably gone.
See,
Yeah,
you're going
I
to play
have it.
these into the microphone. They're going to sound like
It's okay.
crap.
Never mind. Never mind.
We're done with that.
Thank you.
So it was lovely seeing Jessica and watching her slowly blonde herself into being a blonde. And
Oblivion.
She looks lovely.
That was a shocker.
Do I look hot?
Anything else exciting over your weekend, Jess?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday I went to my comedy class.
Tell us.
And I was the microphone police because no one would step up to the microphone. And as a podcaster, I was like, this is bothering me so bad.
You gotta try listening to a few of them.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm terrible. And then let's see what else. I rewrote my entire set. So she had gone around the room and she gave me critique on my first set. And I was like, can I just do my second one for you really quick? Because I changed almost all the jokes. So she said yes, and I did it. And I think it came out good.
Is it hard to do without having people laugh?
They do laugh at me. I'm funny.
Okay, so there is people in there. You have an audience.
There
how many,
are
how
like
many people
20
are there?
students. Like 20 students. There's
That's
not a lot.
too bad. That's
And they don't all laugh because they're comedians.
Okay,
comedians,
so
and like by the time this show comes around May 5th, they're definitely not going to laugh because it'll be the 8th time they've heard it.
Right.
But I mean, also I make it a point to I try to do supportive laughter.
What? Give me a supportive laugh, please.
Ha!
Yeah, if somebody tells a joke and I'm like,
Like that, John, like you right there.
That was actually laughter because it was like, oh my god! So I'm up on
it's
stage
my
and
forced giggle.
When I hear that, I can't tell whether you're laughing at me or you're just giving me a pity laugh.
Either way, I'm
You
grateful
can
for
tell.
it.
First of all, I don't have to force myself to laugh at you. So I'm never giving
Okay.
you a pity laugh. I don't do that. I do it for people who I've heard their jokes over and over. I'm trying to be supportive.
Like, still funny, but I've already heard it.
I know I get Jessica when I get that. I get the and then the laugh. That's how I know when I
Yes,
get
because
Jessica.
I sound like an old grandfather. It's from smoking all those years. So yeah, I redid my set. I'm not sure it's long enough, and I didn't really perform it the way I probably will. And they're like, just turn on your camera and record yourself. But then I know I'm not going to have laughter, and that's hard, so much harder to record myself doing it to nothing. Because I don't, I'll be like, what am I going to do? Like, I have a microphone, obviously, so it's not that hard. So I'll just be like,
So you're doing
hey, everyone,
5
y'all
minutes?
look great. You're a great audience. Yeah, 5 minutes.
All right. So how many jokes are in 5 minutes?
I have like 2 or 3 paragraphs. But you know what? For Dave Jackson's roast, I had 2 full pages of jokes.
Okay.
Like single spaced. And that was supposed to be 5 minutes. I probably went 7 though. But I don't want to go 7 for this. I just need to fill in. First of all, I need to pause for laughter, which I'm terrible at. Terrible at this. Because this is the thing where you have to where you talk and then you bring it down so they'll laugh. You have to wait till they're done and then you go, finish the joke. So my jokes this time are about comparing having a kid at 20 and then 40.
Okay. Do you know that podcasting could really, really help you with this? Because there's some things that when you tell me about stand-up, I see the same tendencies in podcasting. Like when someone's talking and you have an impulse, like you want to say something, you just charge right in. You don't yield, and then if someone else has something, you don't yield the floor. It's kind of weird.
No,
I have a
you're right.
co-host that does the same thing. Like I'll be talking, I'll be setting something up, and then he'll go, and he'll completely change the subject. Not that you do this. He'll completely change the subject.
I have done that.
And wreck the whole, and then I'm like, now I had half the setup. I can't go back. I might as well just take that joke, wipe my ass with it, and throw it in the trash. It's done.
I didn't always know you were telling jokes, though.
Not you. Not you.
No, I know.
I'm
but
talking
remember,
about
we had that problem with Off in the Weeds when we did it together at first because
right.
You were setting me up for a joke and I had no idea.
Right.
And I would go off in a totally different direction. You're like, no, dude, this is a bit. And I was in the dark completely, oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, because we never really said anything. Well, it's the same thing with this. We don't really talk. We shut the mic off and then we don't talk again until we turn the mic on a week later.
So what I'm going to start doing, I think, is like, for example, what we're going to talk about a little later, the card that I put in there, that is a bit that I'm kind of like working through.
Okay.
So if I work it through with you guys, I can use that from it. It's not that something I'm working through for this show, but like if I'm going to do this a few times, I'm going to need more material.
Yeah, you're going to have to build this. I mean, I can't imagine. Can you imagine someone doing an hour? Like,
No.
how hard that's got to be?
Well, so here's what's funny. When I first started writing my 5 minutes, it was so long. And the reason why is I was writing my own HBO special. And you can't do that. If you need 5 minutes, you have to hit them with a joke in the first 30 seconds. Within minute 1 to 3, they should laugh at least 5 times. Like, you can't be like, so, I have 2 beautiful children. One's a girl. One, like, you can't do that.
So could we do that for this podcast?
I had to shorten it like this. Yes. What are you saying?
So what I'm saying is, like, could we, when we come out of here,
exactly are you saying?
could we make, people, could we set up like 5, like one joke right out of the get-go instead of saying, so, and again, everybody does this. All right. So we're kind of working through this on the show. So everybody does like, how was your weekend? Because we haven't talked. So, it's the first thing you want to do is, how you doing? How's your weekend? Instead of that, we come up with a segment where it's just like, boom, right out of the boom. And then you kind of talk about that. Really, we should really talk about our weekend until either we're off mic or way later down the show, because nobody really cares about what our weekends are.
I think they are. I think they're tuning in to hear about us and to hear about our weekends. These are
really?
A little bit.
They started out as friends of ours.
Listen,
and then
I have
others who came.
Yes, your friends want to know about your weekend. Unless your weekend involves police activity, a bodily function.
I mean, you just described my whole year last year.
No, I think that our situations, like a couple of stories we tell, oh my God, our mother stories, I think people relate to those, and there's no police involved or chocolate cock rings involved.
But we could get right to it. I mean, actually, I think this time we did kind of get right to it.
A little bit. Yeah.
Didn't we? So we're getting better. It's only episode 22. I don't think Elsie and I were even good till like episode 75.
62. That's when I took over.
Rude. But I'm just saying, we didn't have segments for a long time.
I know. No.
We just talked like randomly, like kind of like how we're doing now. And it'll come in. So like, yes, I have. But also, you know what? None of us have ever written for a radio show. I don't know how to do segments like that. Like, I know how to give tips. I know how to give advice. I know how to like do, like Elsie and I came up with like Jessica's pet peeve and let's do the news and stuff. And we could do, like Howard does that stuff too, where he does the news and brings in like a character or whatever. But
speaking of segments, I definitely had an outside Melissa's box experience yesterday.
Hold on.
Outside Melissa's box. Ugh,
but you didn't put it in. What is it?
That hypes me up. I did. You saw a picture of it on my Instagram. Instead of having my egg and cheese on a Sunday morning and eating my typical breakfast, we tried a new, it's in a crack den strip mall, but the inside looks like an HGTV home that they just did with the cement floors and the exposed beams and ductwork on top, and this. It's a breakfast place, breakfast lunch, I would say. And they have bowls and they have smoothies and they have drinks and they have just super healthy, in my opinion, so gross, but because I like the fattening, and they have a non-grain, 0-grain bagel. I got the avocado. I know. So Stuart said, "What's that?" And she had to explain. I said, so it's just gluten-free. Is that what you're saying? And she said, we use 3 kinds of flour that are We use almond flour and we use John, they were flours I've never heard of.
Seriously, I can't find this post. I don't think it's on Instagram.
I didn't see it either. And I follow you too.
It must be on Facebook.
Okay, try Facebook. So Stuart gets this bowl. And the bowl, it's like a coconut milk. It's blue. That's what I have to tell you. It's a bluey goop, and I said,
blue?
"Oh, I found it."
So he gets this bluey goop. It's called
Ocean Frigsicles.
Yeah, it's called Oceanfront. And I said, "Is that yogurt?" He said, "No, it doesn't have the consistency of yogurt. On the bottom are chunks of fruits and roots that he's never heard of. That we literally took out our phones and started Googling what was in what he was eating." and I got an avocado toasty kind of thing on this gluten-free
So that
bagel.
is avocado.
Yes, avocado and sea salt and turmeric and yeah. So I scraped all the avocado onto one half of the bagel and I piled it up and I ate most of that half because I don't know, it was gross, but Stuart loved his and thought it was delightful. And I got a matcha smoothie. What's matcha?
Matcha tea.
What's that?
It's Japanese green tea. And it has, no, the matcha is actually not bad because
smoothie was
had
good.
a matcha smoothie somewhere.
Yes, that's what I had. It was yummy.
Matcha green tea. Oh, Starbucks has matcha smoothies and they're delicious.
Now, it's
This
so
one
funny
had-
because you're talking about this, and the next picture under that is a box full of Dunkin' Munchkins, a bunch
Shut up.
of croissants, and a bowl of fruit.
Shut up. You shut up. You. Well, that's more me than this blue bowl that Stuart got and this bright green plate of whatever that I got. And I thought, I am definitely outside my box. Where's the grease? Where is the carb? Where is the where's the cheese and the joy in this meal? And you know what? I figured not every meal needs cheese and joy. Just the good ones, but not every meal needs to have that.
I hear you. See,
Croissant.
well,
Croissant?
I'm doing the whole,
Croissant.
like, I've changed everything, and now I'm like a big fan of the Instapot. I love my Instapot. I
boy.
have hard-boiled eggs in it. I make chicken in it. I've steamed vegetables in it. So I don't eat that bready stuff anymore. And, you know, I'm trying to do this low-carb thing.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm pretty confident you were in a sugar coma last time we recorded after Easter.
After Easter? I was definitely in a sugar coma.
Okay.
I think I ate like before I came down here, I ate like one of those medium-sized buttercream eggs, which was, I mean, I think
I
I
love
was
those.
jonesing for the rest of the day.
I
It
ate a
was
real
crazy.
bunny.
I ate a rabbit.
It was full of chocolate.
Right. I mean, the blueberries
Say
look good, but
chocolate
I don't know
again.
if I could eat that blue
So
poo
good.
porridge that's in there. I love the way they put a little green leaf there for garnish.
And that's kind of what I feel like all of these healthier places are doing. They're making super pretty foods with fruits and roots that I've never heard of. And I don't know, man. I just want a cheesy egg.
Yeah, I want a Western omelet, loaded home fries with fried onions,
Well
and
done.
some scrapple. Well done. Very
well
good.
done. Yes.
And some
What did
scrapple.
you
Ew.
Oh, scrapple's the best.
Ew.
Now, if people
Jews
don't
don't eat
know what
Scrapple.
scrapple is,
Actually, Scott loves Scrapple, but this Jew doesn't eat Scrapple.
This Jew
or
doesn't eat
gefilte
scrapple
fish.
either.
it's
Ooh.
everything but the squeal.
No.
It's all the leftover pig parts ground up, and they put some stuff in it, and they make it into a block, and then they take and slice it and fry
Everything
it.
but the squeal.
Everything but the squeal. Yes, it's delicious.
Melissa, what was the gluten-free bagel like? Terrible?
So you know when a
Grainy?
matzo ball is not good and it's a rock, like it just like you can hear it hit the table super hard,
Yes,
and
I
it's
do. I do know what that's like.
So the inside that's not really finished cooking, it's still wet-ish almost.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be like.
That's exactly what the bagel is.
Bumpy and hard.
Yes, on the inside, So
Like
Stuart's
the
like
inside of a tennis ball. It's like chewing on the inside of a tennis ball.
exactly. So okay, she comes over to you and says, "How was your breakfast?" And mine is 60% still on the plate, and I'm finished. And Stuart says, "Oh, it was lovely." And she said, looks right at me. "You didn't like the bagel?"
That's
what
a
the fuck-
bagel?
What am I supposed to say? I mean,
No, it's a bagel.
Yeah, say it,
No.
the bagel was terrible. I
said,
tell them. When I'm
I
in
like
a place
the
and I don't
crusty
like
outside.
the food,
Yeah.
I tell them. What is that green mush with the brown dots? What is that?
That's the
Guacamole.
avocado. That's the avocado, and the orange dots are sea salt, and there's turmeric in there, and
Oh, Lord. Help
it was not a good morning for me.
Help
but
us.
you know what? I
Help
lived.
us.
I lived. I
Did
didn't.
live.
I think I'd have left there. I'd have drove right to the nearest McDonald's and got myself a couple of.
But I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I didn't want to say it was
think
fucking
she
gross and
cares?
out of here.
Can't.
She does care. She said, "We'll try harder." I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm sure somebody."
Try harder. Try
We'll
making something
try
with flour.
harder.
I'm sure somebody who hasn't had carbs or is gluten-free will totally appreciate this, but I like the crusty outside and the soft gooey inside. It's really a texture thing for me. It always has been. I can't. I can't.
You look her right in the eye and say, listen, I'm a Long Island Jew. I know what a bagel is. This is an abomination.
And
the
it's not
spread's
pronounced
not bad.
bagel.
What's that?
And it's pronounced bagel.
What'd I say?
Bagel.
Bagel.
It's the same thing.
Still doing it wrong. It's not the same. I'm a Long
bagel.
Island Jew. I would never say bagel.
I'm a Long Island Jew, and it's a beagle.
Exactly.
Beagle.
Beagle.
A beagle's a dog. A bagel's a lovely
else.
breakfast.
Yeah, so I felt terrible. I couldn't. I got in the car. I'm like, did I just make her feel better for serving me a shitty? Actually, what
Shit
she gave me,
sandwich?
what she gave me was a
shit
bagel.
sandwich
It
with
was not a
cheese.
bagel. That's what a bagel is.
Bagel.
I want to let you know the last time we spoke, I told you of an incident where bad parenting, that situation.
Oh, yeah.
There happened to have been an incident last night that I do not feel comfortable discussing in its entirety today, but I just want to tell you, if not
Then why bring it up?
if not for parents being on their children's social media and aware. I mean, there was a horrible incident with a kid who posted something on Snapchat and somebody saw it and did the right thing and made phone calls and was a very supportive community. So I really think that, people should not give me a hard time about that as I'm expecting
Who
to
did?
get. As I'm
Who
expecting.
gave you a hard time?
Well, you guys kind of did.
Well, again,
What did I give you a hard time about? Do you
How I
recall?
did it. How I said,
Okay.
"You're a bad parent, you bitch." But
oh, no,
instead of
not that
saying-
part. I think
No,
it's
yeah,
very
for me
hard.
it was that part.
It's very
Oh,
hard
that was
to...
exactly what I was bitching about.
Dude, I'm staring at your boob right now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, not mine?
Not you.
That was a
Me.
boob shot.
Sorry, I was looking for hand cream. My
So
hands are so
being on social media as a grown-up, monitoring things has paid off. So as part of a community who wants to support people in our community, it just came full circle, and I was
don't think
vindicated.
that they're mature enough to have the responsibility of social media.
And being
Who?
unmonitored. Kids,
Children.
you mean?
Teenagers.
How old? What? How old?
Until they're 21.
How old are they when they're responsible? 21?
Pretty much.
Well, their brain doesn't stop
That's
developing
bullshit.
until
Nathan
25.
has had it since he was 12, and he's never done one thing wrong with it.
There you go.
But Emily, on the other hand, pretty much abused it from the get-go.
So there you go.
Have you guys seen the ads for cock blockers, or as it's called, just blockers?
Yes, rooster blocker. Yes,
When is it appropriate to let my kids see that?
What are you talking about for people that have
that's
no
the
idea?
dumbest. The only premise for a movie dumber than this is Bad Moms. Honestly,
I love Bad Moms 1.
if your kids make a pact to have sex on prom night and you spend 2 hours of your life even trying to stop it from happening, why? Why do you care if your kids lose their virginity on prom night? I lost mine when I was 15 and I'm fine.
Okay, first of all, there was so much in there to unpack. I don't know where to start.
I was going to say the same
Who
thing.
Let's start
cares?
from
I'm
the
just
back.
saying it's such a stupid premise for a movie. Of all things to stop them from doing. Out of all the things I did in high school, having sex was probably one of the more safe things I did.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
My head's spinning.
Wait
you
a
don't
minute.
think
Oh my
they're
God.
mature. You don't think they're mature enough to see a movie about it, but they're mature enough to have an emotional connection or physical
No,
connection
I'm
with.
saying I didn't say anything about whether or not they were mature enough to see the movie. I think the movie is a stupid premise. I don't know if they'll ever be mature enough to see it. It's just dumb. I don't know if I'm mature enough to see it.
I'm not a big fan. It's not that I'm afraid of the sex part of it. I'm afraid of the baby part of it. Like, I don't want to be a grandfather for a while yet.
So, losing your virginity at 15, do you feel like you were mature enough at 15 to do what you did? Do you feel like you were ready for that, or that was something you just wanted to, pardon the pun, but bang out and get over with? Get over, bang
I'm not.
out.
I am going to say that I do not regret the decision.
Right, but
I
and
probably didn't really appreciate sex for another year or two.
oh, that's it. That's pretty good.
That's
That's pretty
So
good.
I had a boyfriend that I met from AZA, which is a Jewish youth group, when I was 13 and he was 15. And we dated for 2 years before we even had sex. And then we dated for another 2 years after that. So, like, he was my boyfriend all through high school. So, can't really say it was like one of those experiences that I regret. Like I wasn't drunk and I didn't just find some random, like it was like, I mean, it was like special, I guess, but like,
there were air quotes around the word special for those of you.
well, because I was also, in order to get up the nerve, we were both very wasted. So, because we were, scared shitless to do it. So, I mean, but I mean, it wasn't an unfun experience. The second time was certainly better than the first. And then, it got subsequently better from there.
But you think at 15, you're emotionally ready to, especially for a girl. I don't care about a boy. They're in it for just the feeling, as opposed to a girl where, cue the music, it's more than a feeling.
It wasn't like that for me. I was just having fun. I just thought it was fun. I liked him, he liked me, and we were just having fun. That's all.
Did you think you were in love?
At 15?
I'm asking.
At the time, I would say I thought that I loved him. He and I both realize, I mean, we were very good friends, but he was extremely shy, like deaf mute shy. And I enjoyed, he was. And I enjoyed the mystery of that. So, like, I felt like I loved him, but probably I was just more infatuated with, like, why doesn't he talk? Like, you know what I mean?
That's probably what I was very interested. A deaf mute.
I was very interested. I had several boyfriends. I had another one in college like that was so shy, could barely speak. And I was like, I adore him. And I couldn't figure out why. It's probably because, like, I do all the talking. But anyway, so, like.
I adore him. I'm going to eat him.
For the longest time. Okay, so, like, all sex with this cat, I don't regret. There are some in between
boyfriend?
This boyfriend, this cat, yeah. I don't regret. Cat as in
I got
speaking
you.
jazz. She's speaking jazz.
Like an actual cat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm scatting, goddammit.
All right.
So people that I slept with after him, like number 2, number 3, like those I regret a little more.
Number 72, number 73.
Number 49, definitely 35. No, I mean...
It's like a deli checkout.
Yeah. I mean, the next ones I slept with after him, I regret. But, it wasn't until I had another boyfriend that I was glad I was sleeping with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one-offs were not good for me at that age. They were very bad for me at that age.
We talked about your confidence problem. So at 15, because you're in a confidence of, I liked him, I knew he didn't like me, but I wanted to do it because I wanted him to like me kind of thing?
No.
None of that.
I didn't have that confidence problem until college.
So
at college was round about the time I felt like...
It's so weird to listen to women talk about this.
College was round about the time I felt like I needed to sleep with boys so they would like me. In high school, I didn't feel that way because I was still smart. And
okay, that's high school. You're not...
I
guess 15, you're in high school.
I was in high school. It was in college is when I started failing out, drinking, doing a lot of pot. My parents got divorced. I was super miserable. My head got a little screwed up by it all. And I started thinking like, well, if I don't sleep with him, he's not going to like me. And then I would sleep with them and then they still didn't like me. And then it made me go lower and then lower and then lower and lower. But in high school, I was very much like, I don't know. I still, you still have hope for your life in high school.
And I think it's the other way around. I think girls at 15 want to be accepted and you were, I think, in a unique situation where you were with a boyfriend for 2 years and then 2 more years. I don't think that's very common. I think Mallory came home once and said, so-and-so they broke up. And I said, broke up? Yeah, they were going out. Going out? I mean, you're 12. What is going out at 12? I mean, do you actually go out? Do you meet at a movie? Do you want me to drop you off somewhere with a group of friends? What is going out? Oh, they got back together. How do you know? Like, what are the signs? Like, is it a nod in the hallway? Is it a handhold?
Oh, I think it's a lot bigger, a bigger difference now because I think the kids grow up faster because of everything that they see, everything on the internet. I think they grow up so fast. I think they're introduced to so much more than they were when we were kids. We didn't know half of the stuff.
They definitely don't treat sex with the same reverence that we did, and that's saying something because we didn't really treat it with very much reverence, and it's even less now. I will say that.
There's a lot of girls that were technical virgins, but not really virgins.
Are we discussing oral sex? Like there are Hummers going across the high school like crazy. The middle school. I mean, it's
yeah, the middle school. We wouldn't have done that in middle school, but these children do that in middle school.
It's amazing.
Like it's holding hands.
John wants to go back, and we're grateful we're not there anymore.
I know. No, I don't want to. No.
John, how
I am
old were
very
you when you
grateful.
lost your virginity?
17.
17. And was it with a girlfriend?
Yes. And we were dating
25 minutes? Oh, okay.
8 months or something like that.
And were you in love with her?
I thought so.
And more importantly, how long did it last after that?
4 months. Reason being was it was the problem was that, back then the drinking age was 18 and she was 17, I was 18. So then I could go to places that she couldn't get into, and then that became a big giant fight. So that was the end of that. And again,
That's a bummer.
You're a kid. You don't even know. Listen, I was a
Right.
moron when I'm still a moron. I was more of a moron back then, and you just bounce around. You know what you're doing. You didn't realize the feelings you were having or what you were doing to other people. Stupidity.
So my fear is for my kids and their feelings, and I have to let go of a lot of this and just let them have their experiences. And intellectually, I know that, but emotionally, I mean, the same way Stuart and I have the different parenting, I want to wrap them in bubble wrap and gently toss them out into the world. And he wants to give them knives to juggle, saying, when they cut themselves, I'll sew them back up. I can fix things, and I want them never to get hurt. So the difference between the two of us, like, we almost can't parent in the same room because
Well,
I'll
how do
come
you
home
learn if you don't make a
by
mistake?
falling. Yeah, there's a whole book called The Blessings of a Skinned Knee.
Right.
That you fall, you hurt yourself, and you realize, oh my God, it's not going to kill me. And I kind of want to get to Mallory's first heartbreak now so that I can watch it and be supportive. But I also don't ever want her to fall in love until I vet the guy. And I mean, this is John's problem with me. I want to control everything, and I'm making a conscious effort to have only getting them the fuck out of my house be the thing I'm controlling. Getting them to study, getting them to get involved in something that can get them accepted into college so that I don't have to support them forever. I want them to go out and be successful, and I don't know that I'm really preparing them for that.
What do you mean? Well, how are you not preparing them for that exactly?
Because I'm always on their case, right? I'm always like, did you study? What tests do you have this week? All right, let's study for that. And can I do this? I don't know. Did you study for that? Like, I'm a dick. Like, I'm kind of a dick. Instead of saying, school is your job, you are solely responsible for your grades. Go get them. I have nothing to do with it. I'll walk out of the room to let them do work. I come back and Ethan's like on Fortnite, this stupid shooting game, which he knows he can't have from Monday to Friday, and he only gets on weekends. But because I wasn't standing over him, making sure every stitch of work is done, and I decided I'm taking steps back. I'm becoming a little less involved.
Why can't you play a game Monday through Friday, but you can play it Saturday and Sunday? What's the difference in days?
You have a job during the week. Your job is school and to get good grades. And if you have those grades, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can play online with your friends. You can do what you want. Although he did lie to me about it, which is why I dragged him to that a cappella concert on Saturday night.
Of course he's going to lie. He can't tell you the truth. As long as he has his stuff done and everything's done, why can't he play with the game during the week? Because that's when their friends are playing it. On the weekend, everybody's managed and they're out doing things and his friends aren't playing. You have to play the game when their friends are there. Let me tell you something. My father used to do this to me all the time. We were the opposite. We could play on during the week because our parents weren't around. On the weekends, our parents were home and we were handled. We had to do stuff. Well, my friends were allowed to go out and play football and stuff. And I wasn't allowed because I had chores to do and I had to help my father around the house. And that used to drive me crazy. So what I would do is I would sneak around and I would get in trouble. And I'm like, you make me lie to you. You make me lie to you. Because of your unreal expectations.
You make me lie to you. Nobody makes you lie to them. What do you mean make you lie?
I want to do this. There's no reason why I can't.
He's saying you've created a situation in which he can't win and it's not reasonable.
Exactly.
Right. If you're a non-obedient child who has to have what he wants because you know better.
Because your overbearing
13,
mother
14.
will not let you play a video game during the week after your schoolwork's done.
Who got you that game? Who got you all the shit you play
Doesn't
on? I
well,
paid for it.
doesn't
Go
matter.
get yourself your own fucking gaming device, and then we can talk again.
See,
Go
what
ahead.
I'm telling you is
But
that's why kids lie. That's why you sneak around, because they have to. Because
this is exactly why I used to lie to my mother, because I did not think her rules were reasonable. And because I was doing everything, well, I mean, that's debatable as to whether or not I was doing everything fine. I didn't get the great grades in high school, but like, for example, I had to be off the phone at 10. Well, I didn't go to bed till like 12, 1 in the morning. So I would sneak a phone into my room, plug it in, and talk on the phone all night. And I would always get in trouble and get grounded, but it didn't stop me from doing it. I would still do it. Full on grounded.
And then the situation that I had the other day with a Snapchat kid doing something horrible. And I said to myself and to Stuart, all right, go ahead and vape. Go play your game, because it could be so much worse. Like, it could be so much worse. So if
that's not exactly a reason to make sure they turn into juvenile delinquents, but I mean, you could be more relaxed based on what it is they want to do. Yeah, like John is saying.
You almost have to just back off and let them fail and use it as a teaching moment.
Yeah.
Right, but when I say
I agree
things
with that.
like, oh, I see that you got a C on your math test, do you think that's because he's like, fuck you, mom? Like, it's always, he doesn't say that, but he means it. I mean, he's always like, no, I knew it, and it's just I don't understand. So let me get you a tutor. No, a tutor's not going to help, and it's just totally irrational arguments that come at me. They are 13 and 14. John, they are not smart enough to have a rational argument. You can't admit right now that I know better than they do at 13 and 14.
I know you know better. I know you know better. But they don't know better, so they have to learn better.
What he's saying is,
you're steering them.
Let them do the things they want until it goes south, and then you take it away.
Then they can live in your basement. Why
the restriction beforehand? He's saying, why the restriction beforehand?
The burnt hand teaches best. In other words, when you make a mistake and you go, damn, I ain't doing that anymore, every once in a while you got to make a mistake.
So I don't think at 14 you're smart enough to say, damn, I'm not doing that anymore. Unless it is a burnt hand. Unless it is physically. I think they're happier to leave with grades that kind of stink. They don't care. Like, it doesn't affect them right now. The same way they don't understand if you're not brushing your teeth are going to fucking fall out. It's going to hurt when you get cavities. It's kind of like getting a sunburn, getting a tan because you like how you look tan, and later you have cancer. It's kind of like smoking and you don't realize that you're going to get cancer. Like, there are things where there are not direct repercussions, or you just don't worry about it or care because it's not stopping you in the short run.
Okay, so I have my daughter. She's 16. She helps me edit. All right. And one of the things about my daughter, she's exactly like me. She's a procrastinator. I'm the biggest procrastinator in the world. And the reason that I do this, as I make my life harder on me, I know that I'm never going to change. So because what happened was I would always get punished, and I was never allowed to fail. So, because I was always handled. So what I do with my daughter is I say, okay, here's the job. It has to be done by this day. I give her a little reminder. I give her another little reminder. I shut my mouth. Then I go, where is this? And she's like, well, I said, oh no, I don't want an excuse. This is either done or not done. You either pass or fail. I don't want to hear nothing. You had all this time to figure out and schedule and plan to get this done. You failed. You're done. Give me that. I'll finish it. You've just made my life harder. And now I don't know if I can give you another job or whatever. Now, all of a sudden, it's been a week and she hasn't had any money come in. And she's like, all right, I get it. All right, I won't do this again. All right, here's one show. Show me you can make deadlines with one show. I'll give you another. And she's back up to 3, and I haven't had to have that conversation anymore. I'm not going to sit there and babysit and helicopter parent. I gave her a deadline. I told her everything she needed to know how to do, and I let her go. And when she failed, I let her have it. That's how I did it, and it seemed to work. So, I mean, every kid's different, and the reason I know how to handle her is because she is the splitting image of me.
Splitting image?
Whatever.
Spitting image?
Whatever. Spitting, okay. Splitting, whatever.
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying, and she's, how old is she?
16.
16. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's the one I had the most trouble with growing up.
Because she's you, and all the things you hate about you are in her, and you
exactly.
just can't fix them. And I see that too, and
exactly.
That makes me crazy.
She was the most defiant kid. You had to break her will all the time. Go upstairs. No. I have to drag her up the steps to go to her. Go to your room. No. One step at a time, hauling her up the steps, running away from you, all that kind of stuff. And, again, I always say, I used to say this to my ex all the time. It's me and you against the kids. You can't be their friend. It's us. We're here to parent. This isn't fun and games. This is a job.
Mostly because, for us at least, when I say it's us against them, it's because they're going to leave. And someday when they leave, we're here. We're still here. You still have to deal with me. It's not, but I guess that didn't work out for you.
I think I'm having PTSD from this conversation.
See?
Because you've been through it.
Yeah.
I am either traumatized by my experiences with my own parents or my older children. Right. Either way, I don't want to talk about disciplining teenagers anymore. I'm dying.
Okay.
You're dying?
I'm dying. I'm slowly dying on the inside over here. Because it's hard to win with teenagers, and each kid is different.
There's no winning. There's no winning.
And
as long as you understand.
Each kid has a different trick that works for them. And it takes all the failing to figure out what that trick is. I don't know what Ethan's trick is because he's smart and sassy. And
I don't know where they get that.
As a result, he probably can handle his own without a lot of helicoptering. And there is some merit to the fact that like Nate did not start giving a crap about his grades until I allowed him to let them slip. So John's right in that way. He fought me and fought me and fought me and fought me till I went took my hands off. He got an F and turned it around. Emily, on the other hand, I couldn't helicopter her no matter what. She just failed but then she made it up in, her own way. Like she was kind of like Cher from Clueless. Like she would renegotiate all her grades at the end of the semester. Yeah.
As if they were based on real grades. I couldn't be more proud.
Yeah, I know. And I was proud because I would look online and she goes, those aren't my grades. Just wait till the end. She's just like that. It's so funny. So, I mean, every kid is different. So,
in a nutshell, I was watching Grey's Anatomy with my daughter, and there was a character who was played by Scott Speedman who talked about his sister and how he was raising his sister's kid because he said, there's my sister, she's limited.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, she's limited, which
Who's
means
not limited.
Right, but it turns out it meant she went out, she slept with a guy, she got pregnant, she had a baby, she couldn't handle it, she kind of left, and he's raising her kid because she's limited.
What is that? That is not what that means.
For him, as he explained it, that's what he means, and I just thought that is the nicest fucking way I've ever heard somebody say,
she's all fucked up.
She's all fucked up. Like, how nice that he still loves her and respects her enough. They're not real people. I get that. But then I started to think about the limited people in my life. And if I just saw them as limited and not expecting humanity, and anything really from them, I would be a happier person if I saw people as limited to what this is the best they could do, Melissa.
Yes.
This is the best your parents can do. This is the best this friend who has disappointed you time after time can do. They just don't have the ability. They're limited. And I thought, oh, well, that throws a lot of people.
I never heard anyone describe being limited as a good thing before now.
Well, it's not really that. It's what happens
not a good
is
thing.
You are lowering your expectations of that person.
Eliminating your expectations when it comes to certain
or
people.
Eliminating.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But there's nothing wrong with that because actually that's one of my husband's biggest flaws is his expectation of others and how he expects everyone to treat him the way he treats them. And then he goes above and beyond in every situation and it's impossible to live up to that.
He must be constantly disappointed. Is he constantly disappointed in people?
Constantly disappointed.
And
yes.
Doesn't that feel terrible? Wouldn't it be better if he understood people's limits and didn't expect from them everything he's willing to give?
I mean, yes.
I'm going to call Scott.
I have taught him to see certain people as limited, and it has helped.
I like that phrase. It's not saying
We've
you're
talked about
deadbeat.
It a lot, though.
You're not talking about Forrest Gump
Why
limited.
do you expect?
That's
no.
what Jess thinks you mean by limited initially.
Sometimes.
That's what I thought you meant at first. Oh, look at him. He's limited.
Well, that's what I thought she meant too.
We're changing. See, we have to change words to make things
capable.
nicer. Can't we just be words or words so we know whatever? Because, see, that's what's happening. Everybody changes a word, and we don't know what it means anymore.
You should put out a dictionary, John. You should put out your own dictionary.
You should put the old man dictionary. That might not be a bad idea. Have the urban dictionary.
And it's
Old guy
called, "Hey,
dictionary.
you kids, get off my lawn."
Yeah, hey, you
and then you
kids.
just put out your dictionary.
With
That's
your hair
right.
and your clothes.
With your
Like-
hair, with that hair and that music and your clothes. Yeah.
and
Wow,
the split and make it a splitting image.
A spitting image, but okay. Hey, Jessica, can you tell me the dumbest shit that people brag about?
That was the worst segue I've ever heard.
I could do a worse. You
We're
wanna
like
hear worse?
Laurel and
Hold my
Hardy in
beer.
a vaudeville act. Hey, Melissa, tell me what you saw about the baseball game this weekend. Well, what did I see?
I saw Who's on First.
No, I've just been noticing lately that people brag about some of the dumbest shit ever. I want to know if you guys have ever noticed that. Doesn't it, or if it bothers you?
It's like porn. You don't know how to explain it, but you know it when you see it.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook is full of this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like people bragging about how drunk they got, how wasted they were, like that's an accomplishment.
So
Horrible.
I just found a podcast the other day. I'm always looking for new podcasts to listen to, entertaining. I found this new podcast through Twitter. It's two girls from Canada. One does a morning show, and now she's with her friend. She's doing a podcast. And the first story that they were talking about how is the one got so drunk that she was in a bar, karaoke bar, eating food off of strangers' plates. Like she'd just walk up and just take a chicken wing off of somebody's plate and then take something. She was that drunk and she doesn't remember it the next day. And then they're bragging about it. Isn't that
I
like
don't mean to brag, but I put on 15 pounds. What?
Well, that is impressive.
What?
That is impressive. I mean, just why talk about how drunk you got? Like that is an accomplishment. I can't stand that. How famous or rich your family or friends are. Like I know people that constantly talk about like their rich friends, like, well, you know, because there's some rather wealthy people in my husband's immediate-ish family.
Right.
And the other members of the family are always like, oh my God, the beach house has like 80 rooms. Oh my gosh, like she always has the nicest chocolates out when I go to see. Like, who the fuck cares? Who cares?
Let's limit our bragging to shit you've earned or accomplished and not drank your way through. Other people's accomplishments.
All right, so here's one. I'm on Facebook right now. I used to be addicted to body wash, but I'm clean now.
That's terrible. What the fuck is that? That's just a pun.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. It's just
That's
stuff like that you
horrible.
see all the time.
That's the worst. What about how many hours people worked or how tired they are? Like it's a competition. Oh my God, I worked 75 hours this week. I'm so exhausted. I haven't slept since Christmas. You know,
Meanwhile,
like,
you're all on Facebook. Why is that something you're bragging about?
it's just a dumb thing to brag about, don't you think? Like we should be bragging about like when we're nice to people, and instead we brag about how little we slept, how much we worked, how terrible we cook. You and I are the worst at this. Oh my God, I'm the worst cook. Like it's not an accomplishment. It's terrible.
See, and again, I'm guilty of this, like with my Philadelphia Eagles. It's like I'm actually playing the game.
Sports teams is on the list.
Yes.
You brag, well, the Phillies, man, we killed it against your Detroit Lions. Like who the
I brag about like my team just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, who cares?
I
Come
do.
on. But it's not your accomplishment to brag about. You didn't do shit. You sat around on your butt and yelled at the television and then got upset.
No,
That's
he didn't.
true.
I'm the one who talks to myself. He was
know.
alone. But John, didn't you also say that they lost their first three and that there goes the perfect season? And not to brag, but we're down 3 and whatever, 0 and
Yeah.
3. Weren't you 0 and 3 at the beginning?
No,
of the season?
we weren't. We were not. I forget what it was, but I know we weren't.
Actually, Melissa, you did one of these on this list last week.
Oops.
A couple weeks ago. People brag on how much they spend on their vet bills. Like
That's right. I have vet bills with a comma.
vet
Oh,
bills,
yeah.
vet
But
bills.
that's not a brag.
Like, No, but people
That's-
do
I'm
this. They're
furious.
just like, I had to spend $5,000 to get their toenails sewn back on. You know, and they say it like it's like, you know, I mean, it's a complaint, but it's also like it feels competitive. When people, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Or like how many books they read. Have you ever seen the Facebook post where it's like, I've read 80,000 books this year. I'm so proud that I'm this much more knowledgeable than you.
So the book one is, I got halfway into a book before I even realized I've read this already because I read so many books, like that one. But that's I read so many books is the brag. But the whole vet thing is I'm disgusted with myself and I'm no longer rescuing animals because I just can't afford it.
Same as the work hours. I'm disgusted with how little I sleep, but
how about
still
the workout?
Say it all the time.
How about the workout? How about I'm posting where I ran
3.25 miles.
Yes, and how far I've run, how many hours I spent at the gym.
I like it with the route. It actually has the route.
Yes.
There's a picture of the route where they ran.
Nobody
You
wants
like
to
the
fucking
route?
know that. Nobody wants to
So
know
you
that.
can clap for them in silence? Yes, congratulations. You're a rock star. You're a running rock star.
As I get to the bottom
Mazel
of the
tov.
bag of cheese curls, I'm watching your route thinking,
a blessing on your head.
Fuck you.
Mazel tov.
Right.
Mazel tov. What about when people brag about how long their kid sleeps, like when they first have a baby. My child slept 5 straight hours in a row. My kid sleeps from 14 hours a night. Like, fuck you. Shut up. I hate that.
I saw one last night, and it's actually a friend of me and Jessica's, where he wrote, "There's actual pee in the potty."
Yeah, that was actually adorable. Because I did that too. I was like, I repeat. The boy has been potty trained.
Yes.
I repeat. Yeah. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, for you. No one else cares.
I actually only slept 3.5 hours last night.
So did I.
But doesn't it sound like I'm bragging? Oh my God. I slept 3.5 hours last night. I'm so
and I'm
tired.
still going.
I'm taking
My
issue with your
eyes have
bragging.
to be held open by toothpicks. Yeah, it's like, I don't understand that. Anyway, it was just, and when people brag about how ADHD they are too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't pay attention. I have the worst brain. I'm so stupid and distracted all the time.
Right.
I feel like you've said that before.
Oh my God, I can barely lift my
time, but I actually take medication for it, so I'm allowed to brag about stupid things like that.
So I don't take I don't take any medication for mine. I can't.
Exercise and caffeine also helps it.
Exercise I don't want to hear about anybody else's exercise. Just got back from the gym. I have a big middle finger for you.
I agree.
Yay, you.
Oh, I can barely walk. Legs day, can barely walk.
I've seen that too. Yes.
If I say, like, I took that kettlebells class and thought I was going to die, mine isn't a brag. It's send food. It's, please, if you see my child walking somewhere, give them a ride. Their mom is paralyzed right now, and she's just sitting on a chair somewhere rubbing a dog who's already shit in the house because she can't move to let them out.
Oh, here's one.
Not a brag.
Podcasters love to do this because podcasters are, what's the word? Narcissists or psychopaths? So
sociopaths.
Yes, to both.
So what happens? A guy comes on and he says, just put out my first episode. Is 500 downloads a good number for your first episode? I want to stick my finger in his eye. That is one of those brags you're talking about.
Yes, or also, is this a good number? I'm not sure if 1,000 is good for my podcast. Listen, if it's more than 2, you should congratulate yourself because it means someone else found it and listened. That's all.
Right.
It's so hard to get a listenership. I mean, we're kind of learning that. I'm going to fix that, though. I just I'm switching my email marketing system, and once that gets all in, I'm going to start email marketing people that I used to email a long time ago and tell them about our show because I haven't done it in a long time. I haven't emailed these people in 3 years. So if you're listening and you're one of those people on my list, surprise, I'm going to email you this week.
So here's one.
Surprise!
The person takes a selfie with their phone, right, in the bathroom mirror, and they put a Post-it on the mirror with a saying.
What is the Post-it?
Like an inspirational saying.
Oh, yes.
Their
yes.
morning affirmations.
Yes.
Yes.
You are beautiful. You are smart.
Actually,
you
that's
are
so
strong.
true. Or people who brag about how much they meditate. That's a good one, too.
I'm so zen.
I get up at 4:30 in the morning so I can meditate.
And I had a download. Yes.
Yes, I get up at 4:30 in the morning so I can meditate before the children get up. So it starts my day.
I dated a guy in college who...
That's your brag?
When I slept over his house, I saw this big poster he had and all these Post-its that said all of these life-affirming comments, and I thought, get me the fuck out of here right now. You have to definitely...
Is that the weirdest thing you've ever broken up with someone for?
Is that the worst? No.
Is that the weirdest?
Oh, weirdest? No. No.
That just took a neat turn. So what were some of the funniest things you've ever broken up with somebody for?
Me? I only have one really funny one.
Their voice.
voice.
Oh my God, their voice, their parents, their friends, please, I'm an episode of Seinfeld in the making. Everything. I mean,
Really?
nobody's belly button ever talked to me with a voice, but
I can do that for you right now if you'd like.
No, I'm good. I everything, the smallest things.
Really?
Yes, a weird smell, the fact that he had ants in his kitchen. Like, yes, bye, we're done.
Those are both very good reasons to break up with someone.
Anything.
Ants in the kitchen. I'm almost positive I was dumped a few times because of the water bugs in my apartment when I lived in Newark. Because it was really creepy. It was like living in a haunted house.
Okay.
And we'd just be sitting there, and all of a sudden, they look like cockroaches, but they're way bigger.
Right.
It would just start crawling up the wall behind me.
I would be scattering.
Yeah, but can't you say come back to my place? I mean, ugh.
That was my place.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I know I was dumped as a result of that, and it was a basement apartment. It was terrible. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, if I was you, I would have played away games. I would have never had any home games.
Yeah, definitely.
I had 2 children.
Oh, good gracious.
I couldn't always play away games.
I got you.
So probably the dumbest thing I ever broke up with someone for was somebody I met online, and he came to me. We went out to dinner. He was very tall, like 6'7". So he was 1.5 feet taller than me. That didn't bother me. People would stare when we would go into restaurants. That didn't bother me. He was he was an electrician, and he had been electrocuted more than once.
What?
And
I love it, of course.
well, he's an electrician.
Yeah.
And his elbows and knees had no pigment, I guess because the shock had gone to his joints. So all his joints couldn't get tan and stuff. That didn't bother me. Yeah, exactly. But here's what bothered me. I went to his house for the first time. This is after we'd been dating like 2 months. I went to his house for the first time. He had inherited it from his parents or bought it from them or something. Did I tell you this? I did.
Yeah.
It was head to toe decorated with roosters.
Cocks.
Are you kidding me?
Cocks.
You don't remember
That's not because
this?
of the cocks. It's not even because of the cocks. Although I do have a prejudice against in college, anybody that would wear a USC hat that said Cox across their head, I was like,
Gamecocks.
I am not speaking to you. Right. That is so stupid. But yeah, the rooster, it was rooster plates, rooster wallpaper, 800 rooster figurines, rooster teapot, rooster salt and pepper shaker. Like, I was like, what is happening in here? It was like, oh, my mom really liked roosters. And I was like, how long have you, he had lived there for like a year.
Pack 'em up.
A year, people.
Pack them up, buddy.
That woman loved cops.
A year. I can't stop saying it. You lived with those roosters for a year. I couldn't believe it. I was freaked me out so bad. I had to go. I had to go, and not look back.
And I told you guys about the dirty talker. I was out after the first.
That's right. The dirty talker.
Yep. So I was out after that. I don't think I need
That's a
more.
good reason to hit the dirt.
But I think a lot of that has to do with timing. If this guy was in love with you, Jess, and you had a water bug thing, he'd be like, let's get you a new place. I'm in love with you. If I was in love with this guy who used that verbiage with me, I would have been like, hey, I think we need to talk about that because that's not working for me. Like there are things that the timing was wrong. I think if I met Stuart 6 weeks before I met, like timing is truly everything.
Yeah.
I broke up with a girl one time because her car was filthy. The inside of her car was filthy.
I thought Scott was going to dump me when he saw my
But she didn't have kids. She was 20-something years old. And the inside of her car it had a film. It had a crust.
Last week?
Huh? Yeah, it was last week.
Was this
I
last
was
week?
dating a 20-something last week, yes.
Good for you.
I know, that's why I said that.
Uh-huh.
Come
Good for
on,
you.
that was funny. Come on, I'm funny.
No,
soon?
I know, I got it. Yes.
Too soon.
My 6-year-old loved that joke. Mm-hmm. Come on.
No, it was funny. It was funny. I get it.
Okay, anyway.
That's
so
the worst.
You broke
That's
up with
the
her 'cause
worst
your
if
car
someone
was
says,
filthy?
you know what, I
Did
get
you
it.
tell her? Did we tell her it was filthy?
No.
No, you got to run. I didn't tell him it was
ran.
dirty talking. We didn't tell him that it was the cocks. We just run.
Sure.
It's a maturity thing. I said the timing was wrong.
Totally. I was like 23 when this
It's a maturity thing. You're like, yeah, no. And even then, before it had a name, we ghosted all of them. We're like, and we're done here.
Right. I broke up with a girl because of her laugh. I couldn't handle her laugh.
I met a guy online that had a thumb penis.
What does that mean?
What is a thumb penis?
A thumb penis is a penis the size of a thumb. That was our last date, by the way.
Oh. Okay.
The shape of a thumb?
Not the shape, the size.
Oh.
Like,
Hold out your thumb and imagine trying to put your hand down a man's pants and having to search like you're looking for your keys in your pocket because it's the size of a thumb.
You know what you should have done?
A thumb penis.
You should have grabbed him by the testes and tried to thumb wrestle it.
Yes, that would have been certainly a better scenario.
Listen,
Yeah.
here's some foreplay.
oy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Where's he now?
It was unfortunate. I don't know. I met tons of people online and thank God never slept with him because it just seemed like a lot of work.
He's the head of the Micro Penis Foundation.
Is there a micro penis foundation? And how do you know about it if there is?
I just made that up. I don't know. There
Ouch.
probably is. There's a foundation for everything.
Ouch. We have a friend who made a comment to me the other day who said she called to give me a critique of the podcast, a specific one of them. And she said, while she was hanging up on Marco Polo, she said, well, that's the pod shell in a nutcast. And I thought, that is now our sign off.
That's amazing. That's the pod shell in a nutcast. That is definitely our sign off.
That is our sign off from now on. I did.
So what was the critique?
Oh, man. There were
You don't
lots.
want to get into it, do you?
Well, come on. Let's hear it. Let's hear the critique.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Listen, I'm telling you, she hit gold, and it's by accident because she has like bubble mouth every once in a while. She can't get a comment out, and out came, oh, that's the whole podcast in a whole
pod shell.
in a nutcast. And I'm like, oh my God, we are the nutcast in a pod shell.
That's a pod
That's
shell
it.
in a
The
nutcast.
nutcast. So that was the only thing she was upset about? That was the only critique she had?
Oh, no. She wasn't
No,
upset
of
about
course
anything, but she shared some thoughts.
She made suggestions
She
about
shared
our
some thoughts.
content.
I guess I can't drag them out of you right now.
Why don't you call her? Why don't you Marco
I don't
Polo her
know
and see
her.
what you can come up with? Yeah, I'll connect you two on a Marco Polo. You can.
You think that's a good idea,
Is it
Melissa?
about
I don't
me?
know what critique
No.
she gave you.
That is not a good idea to
What could
connect
she
them.
say?
Well, your start with a 5-minute shtick thing is not what she's looking for. She likes the reality, the us, the stories, the. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, she's just trying to catch up with you two.
She wants to feel like she's there as part of the conversation, eavesdropping on a conversation with her friends. Anything that deviates from that is not on her list of what our podcast should be.
Like a quiz that we find somewhere. But our quizzes lead to fun stuff for me, at least. And if I'm still enjoying it,
I
I'm
think
in.
they're fun, but whatever.
If I'm still enjoying it, I'm
she
in.
knows, but see, here's the thing. She knows the two of you, all right? But what about the person that doesn't know the two of you?
Yeah.
You have to get them to love the two of you, so then they want to find, they want to hear about your weekend and stuff like that. So the quizzes and everything kind of bring them into it.
John, I have to tell you, and I probably should have told you
Plus,
this.
Melissa and I know
before
each
we-
other a lot better now that we've done this show. I didn't know half the shit I know about her now.
Before
If we hadn't
this,
taken those quizzes.
I should have told you that
Yeah.
I'm an acquired taste. I've really only discovered that in the last few years when I'm like, who doesn't like me? And someone said to me, "You're an acquired taste. You're an acquired taste."
See, now, I don't
Luckily,
understand
I
that.
acquired
Explain
you.
it to you.
I immediately liked you from Jump Street, from the day that
you're
we were
kinda
trying to set
special
up your
yourself,
microphone.
She just insulted you.
What'd she say?
You're kind of special yourself, though.
Thank you.
I'm not saying you're an acquired taste.
She's not
I'm just
saying-
saying I knew you guys would like each other because I knew her well enough and I knew you well enough.
I'm
but,
limited.
like,
John, honey, she's not saying you're limited. She's saying you're
He's
special.
limited.
You're not
no,
limited.
I'm not saying either one of those things. I'm saying
We both have the sixth sense of
you
humor.
immediately like her.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Right.
guys are both similar in the curmudgeon-y,
Thank you.
meticulous. Like you have a lot of things in common, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go out and I sit at a PTO thing or I'm at a function, I don't feel the need to smile at everybody I see. I don't shit rainbows like Stuart does. So if somebody first thinks that I don't like them, it's not because I don't like them. It's because I don't know you and I didn't just crack out a smile and shit rainbows on you. I'm not there. I don't know you. I'm not letting you into this force field I call my little world. But once you're in, man, you're in. Like I will shit rainbows on you. I will be there for
and
you.
Throw them at your face like a monkey.
Like a monkey.
That's what's special about Melissa. She will shit a rainbow in her hand and throw it right at your face and say, here's your rainbow, motherfucker.
Fecal rainbow in the pie hole from me. Yes, once you're in, you're in.
That is a great name for a rock band.
Fecal pie hole? I saw Fecal pie hole at the Crystal Ballroom.
Fecal pie hole.
Fecal rainbow in the pie hole. That's the name of our next band. I'm writing that down.
That should be the name of the title of this episode.
You got it. It just, now it is. Now I have to write it down too. Yes.
And I want to see the cartoon of Melissa actually crapping a rainbow.
Yeah.
Can you do that one?
Mallory's going to have her work cut out for her.
That's
Let me try
true.
before she comes home. Yeah, I don't feel the need to hi everybody. So if I am sitting there and it looks like Jess has told me in the past that it looks like I just ate shit, my resting bitch face.
No, you just have but when you're not happy, your face makes a little. It's almost like somebody.
Right now, there it is.
It's like somebody pulled your. Have you ever like pulled a drawstring bag shut? Yeah, somebody pulled her ears and her mouth goes.
She has pursed lips and a dimple. Her lips are so pursed it makes a dimple on the right side.
Yes.
All right, stop looking at my face.
That's amazing.
All right.
Get off my face.
We're trying.
So there's a drop.
Get off my face.
So but here's the thing. If you ever watch somebody that's always cheery like that, you can tell, like, watch them for a little while, and they're all cheery, and then once someone moves out of the way, they can go back to resting bitch face. You can see immediately that's an act that they put on. And I'd rather have resting bitch face than, oh, my God. So I'd rather have that because at least I know where I stand with resting bitch face than, oh, it's so great to see it. Oh. Then after they walk away,
I don't think
go.
she wants that. This person also, I think, I don't know.
What do you mean?
She just wants it to be, she just wants it to be Melissa and I having a conversation about whatever.
Gotcha.
She doesn't
And
like
be real.
anything that deviates from that.
And just be real.
Well, how else can you not be real?
I don't know.
I think we should do what we were talking about earlier. I know a segment I would like to do.
Which is?
I would like to talk about, I think, there's a local radio show that used to do this. I don't know if they still do it, but I always thought it was fun. And I always found myself talking back to the radio where we could talk about celebrities that have a birthday that week.
Okay.
And how old they're going to be. Because it's kind of fun to talk about who they are and what they were in and how old they are versus how old we are. And, it's just fun, I guess. Because when you hear, Zac Efron's only 30, you're like, oh, my God, I'm 13 years older than him.
That doesn't tie you into the look what they've accomplished in their whatever years, and here I am with a blue microphone.
I'm not. No. You think I'm very insecure, and here's a problem with Capricorns. This will explain a lot.
Tell me
about
again what I think you are. Wait, finish that. What?
Yeah, please, I want to hear that myself.
You think I'm insecure and have no confidence.
No, I think you are a bundle of confidence.
Oh, yeah,
but
you are a
back
bundle
when
of
I knew you in
confidence.
college, you weren't. But right now, you are on fire.
Capricorns are
Who's a
Bullshit.
Capricorn?
similarly me.
Okay.
Similarly, they are insecure and overconfident all at the same time. So I'm just guessing this because of what you were saying about me losing my virginity and how I wasn't mentally ready. No, I was perfectly ready. I was perfectly fine. My self-esteem didn't take a dive till later, much later. But I am both scared shitless people are going to hate me and also don't give a fuck all at the same time. It's very confusing for me.
Well, it's emotionally exhausting.
It is also exhausting. But that's just how I feel all the time. So, yes, I am. I don't know. I forget why this just came up.
Okay, so you're talking about us, how we feel about you, and I think, to be honest with you,
But why? Melissa said something that spawned it.
well,
I don't remember what it was.
I have to say that I think that you impose what you think we think about you on yourself.
That's not it at all. And my comment about 15-year-olds was in mass, emotionally, they are not mature enough to handle it. So if you were bully for you, but by age, I'm thinking of my daughter, and there's no way
Well, but there's no way to know if I was emotionally ready to handle it unless I were to count repercussions, and I can't think of any. That's all. I don't recall being traumatized, sad, upset, dismayed, used. I didn't feel any of those things, and I didn't get pregnant. So as far as I'm concerned, it's two thumbs up, baby.
Double thumbs up. Double thumbs up.
And then the other thing is, like with your daughter, she's not even seeing anybody yet. She's not. I mean, if she was in a 2-year relationship with somebody,
13.
I'd
God
be worried.
Help us.
But she's not even seeing anybody.
I am worried.
What's that?
Don't let Mallory out of the house.
Right.
Yeah,
until she's 20.
I think her mouth will keep her safe. I've also eaten
hello?
a baked potato across the table from her, and this girl eats a.
What was that?
Her wit. Should I change it from her mouth to her wit?
Yes, you should.
Her wit will keep her safe, and I've also eaten a baked potato across the table from her, or watched her eat one, and there's no way that she's going to get a second date if she eats a baked potato across the table from somebody on a first date. So,
do you think she would eat it like that in front of them?
I hope she would know better, but I will encourage her to eat it just like that on a first date.
You know what guys like? Guys
date.
like when you eat a potato like this.
I'm pretty sure that's what they want.
Right.
That a girl. That's my girl. Keep it up.
Wow. You can't imagine how sexy that is.
Yeah, Mal, do that.
Listen,
Yes,
you might have to
continue to
take
eat
the
just like
pepper
that.
spray out after eating that potato. You might have to fend him off.
Back. Everyone back. I say that when Stuart does
Make
something.
sure you bat your eyelashes really fast, too, while you're doing it.
I say that when Stuart either wears his food or says something stupid. Back off, ladies. He's all mine. Back up. Back up.
I can't eat a meal without dropping something on my shirt. I don't know what that's all about. It's like I do know how to use a fork. I maybe I don't, but you think you know how to use a fork or something. It's like the food's leaping off the fork or spoon or whatever.
Is it that you're eating quickly, that it just falls off your...
No. It's just like you poke something and you start to bring it up and all of a sudden it breaks in half or something happens.
How about the lean in? How about if you lean in and if it falls on your plate, not on yourself?
I do lean in.
It should be.
I think it's the velocity.
Then you become a hunchback. I'm like a permanent hunchback.
Like if you're bringing it up, the velocity of the food coming to your mouth and it
Look at me.
breaks.
I have a hump.
It has an arc.
I'm a humpback. I have Jewish hump neck now.
Hey, go ring that bell over there, hunchback.
Ding.
Ladies and
Ding.
gentlemen, coming to the stage, Jessica Humpback Kupferman.
Actually, you know what? Speaking
Give
of
it up,
that,
ladies
what do you
and
guys
gentlemen.
think of? What do you guys think about a stage name? Because I'm afraid that if I do open
You
mics
can't
and
use
stand-up
Kupferman.
comedy, you can't use Kupferman, right?
It's too Jewy.
It's terrible. It's not too Jewy. It's impossible for people to
Don't say and say
pronounce,
because
even though it says it's pronounced the exact way it's spelled. Nobody can do it.
I do it, and I'm the worst pronouncer in the world.
The worst
known me a long
pronouncer. I'm going to let that go too. I can't hit every note I want to hit on this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, pronouncing for the Brilliant Observations podcast, I'm the pronouncer.
So you guys think I should have a stage name?
Yes.
I would love it if you had a stage name. Jessie K.
Whoa.
Oh, stop it.
I was thinking, so like when I used to do credit card collections, the way they would give us like a fake name is whoever your spouse, whatever their first name was, and if you weren't married, it could be your father. So like if I wasn't married, my name could be Jessica Andrews because he's Andrew.
Right.
Or because I am married, my name could be Jessica Scott, or I could do his middle name and do Jessica Harris.
Oh, I do like Jessica Scott. That's nice.
You do?
Yeah. Jessica Scott.
Here,
Jessica Scott.
let's see.
I like that. That would mean, if anybody were following at home, your husband's name would be Scott. If you married and took his name.
Well, that's why I thought Harris would be better. Because if anybody ever met Scott, they would know, right, that his name was Scott, which is terrible.
No, I love that too.
When I was in college, right before I went on the air, they asked me if I was going to use my name, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, why wouldn't I use my name? And back then, I really wish I didn't. I wish I would have done. And then they said to do the same thing. What's your name? What's your father's middle name? So I would have been John Alexander. I like John Alexander better than.
That's nice too.
Yeah, it would have been a nice name if I'd have went with it then. But you can't do it now. It's like
That's
all right,
too late. You have a following. It's too late.
right? Like I don't want to be so pretentious like Sting. It's like, okay, everyone, I want to be from now on. I want to be. I'm changing my name.
You should change it to just John. So because it's one of
Like
the
just
most
Jack.
common names in the entire world.
Right.
So you should just be John, and you should coin it now that you go by one name so that nobody else can take it.
Right. I'm John.
Yes.
That's right. Like Cher, Madonna, Sting,
Just Jack.
Bono. I'm John. Thank you.
Yeah, I like it. And
Just
if you
John.
want later, you can find a symbol. Like maybe
Right.
a thumb.
Like this. That's my symbol.
The good thing about Jessica Kupferman is no one ever has it.
That's true.
Oh, I like Jessica Scott.
You know, like Jessica Scott and Jessica Harris and Jessica Andrews, like those are all very popular names.
Right. It's hard to get social
And I
media
will
for
never get it on social media. Never, ever, ever.
that. Right.
We give as a last name Stuart's first name, so as a last name because people know how to spell Stuart. They get it wrong either way.
Right.
Because when you say brilliant, they all say, "Can you spell that?" If I wanted to fucking spell it for you, I mean, sure. Just like the word is spelled. Could you spell that? People can't seem to put the I.
I know.
Second
I made
I
that
in
mistake when I
brilliant.
first tried to email you, and I can't get rid of that email because whenever it pops up, I got to look to see which one has the extra I.
Yeah, people want to write brilliant.
Brilliant.
It's not really an extra I. It's definitely a required I. It's,
Right.
It's not surplus. It's not like brilliant D.
All right.
Like there's no
So
spare
I can't get rid.
We
I
use both
can't
of
get
them.
rid of the lacking eye, the one with the no
Yes.
eye,
It's
What
right.
about the
the one-eyed brilliant.
Stinky eye.
I can't get rid of the one-eyed brilliant
Neither can I.
email.
Oh, email. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry. Neither can I. Mm-hmm. Get it?
I want a stage name that isn't taken that people can pronounce. Who do I have to sleep with to figure out what this is?
Me! No?
You know?
All right. Jeff,
How did Bob Dylan come up with his name from Zimmerman?
Bob Dylan.
I just
Yeah.
heard on American Idol how the Commodores came up with their name. They opened up the dictionary.
How?
They opened up the dictionary and they went down blindly. No eyes in this one, John. No eyes. And put a finger down and they went to commodes. And they're like, well, that's not good. Commode. And a little further down, it said Commodore. And they're like, that's it. We'll use that. Because they weren't serious about a band name. They didn't think it was going to go anywhere. So they just picked anything from the dictionary. You want to try that? Does anybody own a dictionary?
No, here's the thing. You ever see
No.
like in a movie where someone says, "What's your name?" and they want to make it up, and you go, "My name is Bill
Richard Glass.
Bill Glass Plus."
Yeah.
Or anything that's here. Any
That was in the Brady Bunch.
right,
Glass.
right.
Jessica Glass.
My name is Wendy.
It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
My name is Jessica Big Gulp.
Jessica Big Gulp.
I'm looking around John's desk. He picked up a big gulp from, what was that?
I thought I could just do Jessica Kaye because I do have cousins with the name Kay, but there's even someone there's
is
an
there?
actress named Jessica Kay already. Yeah, she's from South Africa, but still,
How about Jessica Sharp?
Ooh, that's not bad.
Not bad.
What made you think of that?
You're a D cup and you're sharp. Jessica Sharp.
I'm a D cup. What's that got to do with it?
D sharp. Sharp.
Oh,
Oh.
sharp.
Jessica Sharp.
What's your favorite food? Something like that. Just
Jessica Beef and Broccoli.
Pizza. Jessica Ramen Noodle.
Jessica Pho.
Ew, that's horrible. You guys are terrible.
Jessica
Anyway,
bagel.
Taipei. Yep, Jessica Bagel.
Jessica Taipei. Thank you. You've gotten it. You've hit it for me. Thank you.
Jessica,
Thank you for your help, Melissa.
Jessica
Brilliant.
Chow Fun.
Marissa, you have the perfect stage name.
Yes, I could be a stripper very
Brilliant is
easily.
perfect.
That's true.
Can I borrow it? Maybe I could be Jessica Brilliant.
There is a
There's
Jessica
definitely
Brilliant.
nobody named that.
Yes, there
I don't see
is.
it.
Oh my God.
Who is it?
It's so funny. My kids were taking a music class, and this girl comes up to me and says, actually, it's her maiden name. So she's Jessica Brilliant, and her new last name, not new, she's been married for years, is Powers. So her name is Jessica Brilliant
that's
Powers.
even better.
Right?
Jessica Powers is amazing.
So that's her name, and we have no relatives in common, but we constantly see each other. Our lives constantly cross, and we have tons of common friends, but our kids are in different worlds, and we're not.
Do you think Stewart would be weirded out that I took his name for my stage name? I've always liked it.
Uh,
Plus, we would be Jessica and Melissa Brilliant, like we were sisters.
There you go.
No, that sounds weird. This is weird. This is a bad idea.
I like Jessica Sharp.
That doesn't. It's not bad. If you keep saying it, it's not bad.
Jessica Sharp. Jessica Sharp. Jessica Sharp.
No.
I mean, it's better than Cummings.
Or Shart. Jessica Shart.
Yes, I don't want to be called that. Thank you.
Oh my God, who needs
Gross.
an audience when I clearly...
This is like really fun, but I guess we should wrap it up. If
Slip
you guys
it, rub
want to
it
name
down.
me for my stage name, I'm doing an open mic this week, so hurry the fuck up.
Where are you doing an open mic? I want to come.
Here in Delaware.
Where?
Where?
Bar 13 on Philly Pike. It's Wednesday at like 9. If I do one in Philly, I'll invite you guys.
Why can't I go to the one in Delaware?
This week. You can. I just didn't think you'd want to.
I
You
definitely want to
can.
go.
All right. I'll send you the thing offline.
Yeah, please. Send it to me too. Me too, me too.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, John, earlier you said, I'll never change. You stopped eating carbs and dropped 40 pounds. Do we want to go back to the fact that...
Hey, what?
Well, I mean, no, I understand that, but what I'm saying is your core beliefs, your core personality. You really, it's very. I'm saying you can't change. It's very, very hard to change.
And you can do it. That's all I'm saying.
Right, I understand that.
And you've done it. So
Somewhat.
there. All right, she was wrap it up. Slip it, rub it down.
What was the thing we were supposed to say about the podcast? Something.
That is the Pod Shell and a Nutcast.
There it is,
everyone.
the Pod Shell and the Nutcast.
Please check us out on brilliantobservations.com. You can also find us at Listen Brilliant on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please send us some feedback. It would be brilliantobservations@gmail.com. And thank you so much for listening. And thank you to John and Melissa for showing up today and being hilarious.
Feed us back. Feed us back.
Bye.
Eat us
Bye.
back.
Feed us back. Feedback.